How you doing? I'm Dan Feliciano, OpEx 90, right? I was given a challenge, right? Someone said, hey, Dan, look, oh, look at my hair. It's nice and green, right? From my green screen behind me. Nice reflection there. Going new wave here, right? Old school new wave. Hey, so I was given a challenge here. Hey, Dan, you said your strategy bot was good to help. Could help us make purchasing decisions. And I said, sure. That's what I said. I said that my strategy bot is great for doing a 5-year look ahead. I haven't coded to do a 5-year look ahead, but to understand what's going to take place in that marketplace out there. That's going to be fun. And then it's also useful for understanding your demographics and the whole 9 yards. So what I've decided to do is, someone said, all right, since you've done the all-in-one digital marketing strategy platforms, why don't we start with that? Given the thought was kind of a creepy thought, given that so many people may lose their job. They may be interested in starting an e-commerce business or something that they can do online, and they may need a platform to do so. So why not do that? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share the screen here. And this is like a little prompt that I put together. So what we're going to do, folks, we need to be systematic about this. And we know that if we use our large language models, it has memory. And when it has memory, it's going to know about certain things that we did in the past. So what we're going to do is we're going to use several different large language models to get an independent view of some of these things. First, we're going to start with and run my strategy bot to help us understand the market. It's going to do a pestle analysis. It's going to do 5 forces analysis. It's going to do all this great analysis with a 5-year look ahead, including scenario planning. Remember, I said scenario planning is one of the few things that most people that consider themselves strategists really haven't used or done well. It's just one of those things, right? It's different than scenario analysis, right? Some people say, oh, no, I've done scenario planning. A lot of people have done scenario analysis where you change some factors and you see what your model does. Scenario planning is different, where it's going to look for different outcomes, economic outcomes. In my case here, we have it looking 5 years ahead. So we're going to run that strategy bot, and then we're going to ask it other questions, right? So we're going to run the strategy bot, and then we're going to open up, and let's say we'll use both Grok 3.0. I'm not sure how many of you use it. Fantastic tool, right? And let's use Perplexity. So we'll drop it into Grok and Perplexity and see what we do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to copy and paste this prompt here into my ultimate strategy bot. So let me come over here. Let me change screens. Now you can see my strategy bot here. My strategy bot's on your screen. And note, I have all these different things. We can do them differently. As a matter of fact, I took my strategy bot prompt and I put it into ChatGPT Pro. It couldn't run. It crashed the model. So ChatGPT Pro is great, but I ended up crashing that model. So here's what we're going to do is we're in here and we're going to get this prompt off and running because we know it takes time. Copy, paste, analyze. And note what I did here. I made a slight change, folks. When I did this analysis the first time and I created this report and summary that everyone had access to, when I made that report and summary, what I did is I just did it for the market as a whole in the US. What we're going to do today is we're going to focus in on, since we're thinking about the new entrants and the solopreneur or the small business owner might have to get more in the game. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to run this strategy bot, bam, and it takes time, right? So it's going to run. We need to give it some time. To run. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back into my window here, and we're going to hide that window for now. And then let's come back here into this window and say, all right, what do we need to do next? What should we do next? And remember, even though these new models compensate for people's lack of critical thinking and reasoning, we're trying to think and reason as well. So here we're going to come in here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to see what these large language models think. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's put this into Perplexity, and I have Perplexity Pro, and let's see what it comes up with for the top 10 micro business oriented, right? So there might be some confusion there, right? I don't know how this is going to turn out. So let's copy this, and then let me open up and share Perplexity with you. Let me come down here, and I'm going to share Perplexity, and guess what? My system is timing out. Let's see. I think this is Perplexity, right? So here we are. We're taking a look at Perplexity right now. And what I'm going to do is we're going to do the deep research function. Do I want to do the deep research? We're going to let it run. We're going to do the deep research function. I'm going to hit paste and go. This deep research function is part of the Perplexity Pro model. It is going to take some time to run. So we're going to get that up and running. So we have the strategy bot running. And now we have Perplexity helping us to identify these top 10 opportunities, if you will, right? So that's what we're going to do there. And now let's drop it into, how many of you are using Grok, right? Anyone using Grok out there? Grok is pretty cool. I'm going to open up the Grok window here. Bam, in Grok. And then we're going to do the thing. If we do the deep research mode, it takes a lot of time. We're just going to use thinking. I'm going to pop it in here. Note here, I'm using Grok 3, folks. If you haven't used it, really, 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 really cool. Okay, so that's what we're off and running. We're doing that Grok 3. So we're going to let that run. It's doing reasoning for us, right? The beauty of these new models, folks, these new models that we have out there running, they do some amazing things for us. These new models will reason for us. So for the folks that are struggling, that are struggling with their critical thinking and reasoning skills, and it's okay, right? Not everybody is, we'd like to all consider ourselves these massive, deep thinkers, but it's not. It's just, we just can't be that way, right? So we'll leave it at that, right? So we'll cut that music. So now we're going to go back and let's see what our bot brought back for. And what I'm talking, when I say the bot, I'm talking about Strategy GPT. Let's see what it brought back. So here's the Strategy GPT, right? I think this is it showing up. I have too many screens open right now. So I'm going to go into my Strategy GPT. Let's see what that's showing, right? So here you can see the Strategy GPT, and it did this comprehensive analysis. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this analysis and we're going to I'm going to copy this analysis, and I'm going to put it into a Google Doc for us, right? So we put it into a Google Doc. And the reason we're going to put it into a Google Doc is that we're going to end up saving that, right? We're going to end up saving that data so that we can do a comparison. What we're going to do is take a look at these models, and we're going to see which of these models is future oriented, right? And we're going to see what it actually came up with. So here's what the Strategy GPT prompt came up when I said focus on the. Let me share that screen. I realize I'm not sharing that screen with you, so let me share the Google Docs screen so everyone can see it. Let me share that Google Docs screen. I called it Showdown. So we're sharing this. I'm sharing this Google Docs screen. We'll get rid of that menu on the side here. So here's what it's saying. Here's what it's looking for. It says it's done a pestle analysis, the things about the industry that we need to know and what's going to affect it, right? Trade policies, regulations. So here we have regulations and data privacy, right? This is a big issue, right? In the state of Vermont, they're going to pass. They want to pass a law that's very draconian about data privacy and digital advertising. the economic situation, right? They think that for this platform, we're talking about the industry, right? The software players in this industry, right? They think that interest rates can help harm the venture capital and getting monies to build out those platforms. So if you're thinking about building out a new platform, might be expensive for you. Here is some in a good manner socially, right? Adoption is being, small businesses are adopting this technology, so that's a positive thing. Shifting consumer behaviors, people are getting accustomed to social media and being more engaged in that. The technology, there's a lot of great stuff there, right? Rapid evolution of AI and automation, right? It's doubling the pace of innovation here. Expansion into these integrated platforms with these AI agents. So when you think about these platforms, the integration, AI, you're going to notice even in a micro business, if there's not AI built into it to help you build your funnels, build your websites, analyze your data, you're way behind the 8 ball, right? You're way behind the 8 ball. Legal things here, not too bad, right? Although we know that digital rights and privacy is going to be a big deal. And then it gave us a whole analysis. We're not going to go through this whole analysis. I'm not sure how much of it has changed since the last one I did. But what we're going to do is we're going to save this analysis. And then as we start identifying the platforms that are useful, because this is doing a 5-year look ahead, we're going to see which one is better suited, right? We don't want to buy a product that's going to be outdated today. We want to have one that's going to, have some buying power, some longevity. But let's come down to the bottom. I made some tweaks to this strategy prompt. We did the market search, the market research and trends. Note, this is 22 pages long. The SWOT analysis. Here are the different scenarios. These are really interesting. This is the one thing that I've been talking about quite a bit, that I say that a lot of people, when we talk about strategic planning and being strategists and things like that, the scenario planning was something that was very difficult to do in the past. It was costly. Scenario planning, again, is you have to bring in futurists, economists, sociologists, technology, tech people. You have to bring in legal advice, and you're getting together and you're brainstorming. What are all the possible future scenarios? And we did this at the Pentagon. It's a 20-year look ahead. Shell Oil did a 20-year look ahead. For our intent and purposes, I was able to code ChatGPT just to do a 5-year look ahead, right? Most businesses won't, at the 5th year point is when you know if they're really going to be successful or not, right? So here are some situations. Hyper integrated utopia. It's saying this is a possible scenario. So if you're in this all-in-one digital marketing platform, this is a possible scenario where we're looking into the future, that AI-driven platforms that have near instant results, insights, right? There's going to be huge efficiency gains. Or here's another one, a regulatory roadblock, that all of a sudden there's all this data privacy issues, all this digital marketing, geofencing stuff is going to put up all these expensive regulatory hurdles. I know, for instance, in the state of Vermont, they're trying to pass these laws that say, you could only return information or have a pop-up that's related to the website that a person's on. You can't use third-party data. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's some really crazy laws. Economic flux is another situation here, right? Where competitive pricing is going to really, drive down this market, right? Just think about the cost of creating software is really going down significantly. And then AI, right? AI can change a lot of stuff. So, those are the really interesting things that I find super interesting, is this future scenario. Here again, it's looking at economic conditions and the growth rate for this industry. Let me come down here a little further. So now that we have this analysis done, right, what we can do is we're going to hold this off. Let's find out the top 10 products that exist today. Once we get those top 10 products, let's see what the reviews for those products are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upload this strategy document that's doing a look ahead. And we're going to see, which of these products and services are that ChatGPT believes is going to be successful in the marketplace, that has the legs to move over. move forward with. So here it's already listing the best or worst. It went out and did a high level review. That's why I didn't want to taint our data. It says ClickFunnels is the best, and it gives us the rationale why it believes that. Followed by Kartra, followed by ActiveCampaign, followed by System.io, followed by Builderall, Kajabi, Infusionsoft. I don't know a lot of these companies. Followed Entreport, GrooveFunnels, right? Just for you guys, my site is hosted by GrooveFunnels, right? So GrooveFunnels came up here, BuilderX, all these other different sites, right, came up and are actually running. So let's do this. Remember, we went into Grok and we went into Perplexity, and let's see what they brought back as the top contenders. Maybe we use these contenders, but let's just see in which contenders they thought were among the top 10 here, right? So let's see which one. So I'm going to come into this one. Let's see, that has, oh, it actually crashed, right? So let me see, Grok actually crashed on us. It wasn't able to run it. So I'm not sure what's going on with these apps, right? Let me, I'm going to run Grok again. Grok ended up crashing on us. I mean, not Grok, Perplexity. So Perplexity crashed. Let's use Grok. So now let's take a look at Grok. This is Grok right here. And let's see what Grok brought back, right? The top 10 micro business oriented all-in-one digital marketing platforms. All right, it brought back System.io. I don't know how to say that. All right, it brought back GrooveFunnels. That's another one. Builderall. So it seems ClickFunnels, Kartra, Podia. The other one didn't bring back Podia. But remember, we're using different models. Kajabi, GetResponse, Simvali. Never heard of Simvali. Lead Pages. Right. So it brought back some interesting models there. Right. So that's pretty cool. So we're gonna stick with this. We're going to keep rolling with it. Right. So let's use Grok's output since Perplexity. Oh, Perplexity is, all right, Perplexity is running, but we're going to use Grok for now. What we're going to do now is we're going to ask Grok a second question, right? So we're going to stick with Grok and what it returned. And what we asked it was list the top 10 micro businesses. So now we're going to have it, we're going to ask this question, right? We're always critically thinking about stuff, right? So I'm going to go into Grok, which you can still see, right? You can still see Grok, folks. Let me make sure you can still see Grok. Yep, you can still see Grok. Great. Let's see the questions. Yep. We're going to go into Grok here. And what we're asking is list each of these platforms' strengths, weaknesses, key differentiator, and rank them from best to worst. We're just going to have it run real quick. It shouldn't take that long to run. In the meantime, while that's running, let me come back here. And we're going to check Perplexity. We're going to come back and check Perplexity to see what it came up with and see what your thoughts are, right? So let's have Grok. Grok is running. You can see it's thinking for us. And again, what we're doing here is we ran the strategy bot, which does a 5-year look ahead, right? And we wanted to understand what this marketplace looks like, the possible scenarios, the disrupting technologies, the key features that are going to be required. So here, I don't know where HubSpot came from. It didn't follow. So clearly, it didn't use the above list, but it came back with HubSpot, Marketo, Salesforce, ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, and these are the best to worst, and these are some 5 notes. So right there, Grok has failed us, right? We wanted it to use that previous list. So this is not what we expected, right? We're going to give this a thumbs down. And then I'm going to put that prompt back in here. I'm going to say, use the data from the first response. First response, right? So we'll rerun this and see what happens. See, this takes a little organic override, if you will. So we'll let that run and see if it brings back those top ones again. So it looks like you can see here, it looks like it's going to bring it back. Let me take a look at Perplexity. Perplexity didn't do so well. Perplexity brought back some of the big players that I know are bigger players in the market. So Perplexity is not doing us any favors today. So we're going to stick with Grok here and see what the Grok comes up with. So again, what we're doing is we're trying to, all right, so it's listing them from best to worst, right? The strengths, the weaknesses, and the differentiators. So System IO, strengths, weaknesses, and differentiators. This is great to know. I have it, the prompt written to rank it for us. GrooveFunnels came up near the top here, right? Builderall. So here is what it thinks how some of these apps are, its thoughts about some of these apps. GetResponse, landing page, and it just put them in some sort of order here. So that's perfect for us, right? So now after we do that, so what we've done so far is list the top 10, right? And then we want to know specifically their strengths, weaknesses, and differentiators. And remember, you can ask ChatGPT to rank, prioritize, and give it other things to do. So now what we're going to do is, this is going to be a really interesting one. I'm going to ask it to provide detailed reviews with customer quotes of each of the top 10 all-in-one digit of the top 10 of the platforms. I'm going to make sure I put what we've used in the previous response. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to ask ChatGPT very specifically to provide detailed reviews with customer quotes of each of the platforms above, right? I'm going to use each of the digital marketing platforms, and I'm going to be very specific from the previous response, right? We want to make sure it's focused, right? We're thinking, and then we're going to try to identify and remove affiliates reviews of the platforms, right? There's this affiliate marketing thing. A lot of people don't like it, but there's where they're promoting the product or selling it because they're making money on it. So they might write a bad review. They might write a great review because they're trying to sell you the product. Don't use reviews from their websites, right? So on people's websites, they only have the best. And then we're going to have it rank and prioritize. So let's see how well this can do. So right now, we are evaluating these top 10 platforms. We said, what are the top 10? Okay, great. What are the key strengths, weaknesses, and differentiators, and rank them? Great. Now we're asking it to see if it can go back and bring back detailed reviews of these products and platforms. Right? This is going to be really, really interesting to us to see what people are saying in the market. And then we'll have Grok here. I was going to say ChatGPT. We're going to have Grok here rank and prioritize it for us. These new apps, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all of these will also indicate the references of where they got stuff from. So right now, we had an initial ranking based on features, strengths, weaknesses, and key differentiators. Now we're looking at the reviews, right? This is going to give us a different score, I bet you. So below are the reviews of these platforms. Look at number one. I don't know how to say this. System IO. It looks like it's a standout product here. It has a high score, and you can see this went out to, and I didn't do a deep. It searched over 15 websites. GetResponse is number 2. Simulvi is number 3. Builderall is 4. 5 is GrooveFunnels. Podia, Kajabi, ClickFunnels, and so on. And then here's how they ranked, and here's the rationale for their ranking, right? So this is very interesting. So right now we have a lot of interesting information, right? So we did reviews, we did assessments, and we had to do different assessments, key features. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to download the strategy document, and upload it into Grok, and I'm going to ask it to assess each one of the products that we just saw listed. You know, we could change it, we can manipulate it, we could have asked it to do other products. You can do whatever you want to do. And we're going to see, and I haven't done this, so this might not work. And we're going to see how these products stack up compared to our future oriented process. So let me go ahead and download. Give me a second here. I'm going to download this strategy doc as a PDF file. I've downloaded it. I'm going to attach it here. See, in Grok 3, we're going to attach it. So I'm going to open up that file. So if you're in the market for one of these apps, this is how you can go about thinking deeply. Hey, is this product going to be a long-term survivor here? And what we'll do here is I'm actually going to do deep search on this. Oh, I can't do deep search with the document. I got to reattach it. I forgot. All of these have their own little nuances here. So I'm going to use the Showdown. I call it a Showdown document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you one of the prompts that I wrote here, right? So what I'm having it do here, you'll see I'm going to put it right into Grok. This is kind of cool, right? This, again, this is using the strategy document, right? We're doing a 5-year look at it. We don't care about how it is today. Does this thing have staying power, right? So it's going to compare each of the 10 platforms to the strategy assessment to the attached, right? To the attached strategy assessment, highlighting how well they align with the projected future needs and the customer segment the product may appeal to, right? So we're going to see which customer, and we're going to rank them again and have it explain its rationale. A lot of people don't take the time to write good prompts and think about it, right? So this is going to take some time. So let me go back here and let me go in. So while that is running, let me come back in the window here, see what questions I have from people, because we're broadcasting like the 14 different places right now. So yep, I can show you. Let's see. Yep, I can. Oh yeah, so someone wants to know more about Groove. Yeah, I can break out Groove separately. What we'll do, okay. Here's what someone wants to know. Hey, how is Groove, right? Because that's the platform I use. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a prompt here. Give me a second to write the prompt. All right, I'll do this for you. Copy. What we'll do is I'm going to run this prompt. Someone asked, hey, can you do the more detailed customer reviews on Groove, right? And that's, just so you guys know, that's the platform I use, okay? So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into ChatGPT. I'm going to share the screen with you. Let me share the ChatGPT screen. How can I help you? Give me 1 second. Let me share. I'm just going to share that screen. Give me 1 second to find that screen. Hold on. Let me find the ChatGPT screen. I got to open up that ChatGPT screen. I'm going to open up ChatGPT for you. Give me a second. I'm going to do that. Not a big deal. ChatGPT, share. Let me see if I can write this prompt. I'm going to modify this prompt. Provide detailed reviews, customer codes for also known as. Try to identify the real affiliates. Can't use reviews from the prospective websites. Rank from. We don't need it to rank. We're just going to run it. We'll see what happens. And then we can't do deep research. That takes way too long, folks. So we're going to let that run. We're going to come back now into Grok. Grok might have choked, right? We're giving it a lot of data. So let's come back to Grok here. Let's see. That's that. Let me find. I have too many windows open, folks. Let me come back here. Let's see. That's strategy 2. All right. I think we have Grok right here open, right? Oh, look, it's still, nope, it's not still thinking. All right, so here's what we did. I'm going to copy and let's see if it's still running. It might still be running. All right, here we're. I'm going to copy this data and we're going to put it into a new window here. Now, what we've just done, folks, is we did a strategic assessment and then put with a 5-year look ahead, trying to hone in on what features and functionality we need to exist that we should have going into the future. All right, that's great news. And then, so we did that separately because we didn't want that to influence our rest of our results. Remember, all these large language models have memory. They know what you put in there. So then we listed the top 10. We used Grok to do it, and it came up with the list of top 10. And then we asked it to review them, rank them. We asked it to help us identify strengths, weaknesses, and key differentiators. It did so. We had it rank it. And now what we did is we uploaded our strategy document and said, okay, let's see, of these top 10 products, which apps can, make it in, or will be more applicable in the future that might have some leg room there to run on. So what we're going to do is first, let's hop back into, let's go to ChatGPT since someone asked that specific question in ChatGPT. Perplexity X stocks. We're going to share ChatGPT here window real quick here. I'm trying to figure out which window it is. We're going to do share screen. I'm going to have to close some of these windows here. Give me 1 second here. All right, great. So here we go. So let me find ChatGPT. It says I have too many windows open. You should never do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to share that entire screen. So we're going to come in here. This is going to look ugly. Let's go in here. We're going to go into ChatGPT. Now you can see, you should be able to see this whole ChatGPT window. So let's take a look to see what it came up with. So this was, the question was about Groove, this summary of Groove and some feedback. It has some great reviews. It says here, high positive feedback, small number of users report, despite some glitches that Groove does what it promises, can be cost effective, right? Okay. Mixed or average reviews, a larger group finds that Groove's promising in theory, but inconsistent in practice. Steep learning curve, frequent promises and slow delivery. Many mention that the features advertised coming soon remain delayed, and support challenges. Okay, you can see how it gave us, when we focused in on one, it gave us a more detailed answer. The worst, highly negative reviews. The bulk of the independent feedback is strongly negative. These reviews often from lifetime members report that Groove.cm overpromised, under-delivered, broken promises. I purchased lifetime deals after many years. The features weren't there. Lack of reliable support. Aggressive, misleading marketing. And then it gave us some rationale for ranking and some final thoughts. So final thoughts, Groove.cm offers an attractive promise as an all-in-one funnel page and membership system at a competitive price. Independent review, the actual performance is uneven. Prospective users should weigh the possibility of a steep learning curve, potential delays in the platform's features. Your success with it may depend greatly on your patience and your technical capability. All right, interesting. All right, so let's go back into Grok. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Google Doc, and in that Google Doc that that we have, this Google Doc here, right? So this is the Google Doc that we're talking about. We're going to take a look to see how these actually stacked up. So remember, what we did is we said, what does the 5-year look ahead look like? In that 5-year look ahead, it had features, functionality, scalability, support, and we had it rank and prioritize. So here it says ActiveCampaign is the way to go. This is the #1, and it even came up with a scoring system, leads with AI-driven insights, automation, scalability, and top-notch customer support. ClickFunnels excels in user friendliness, integration with AI enhancement, and strong community support. Remember, AI and automation embedded in the product we know was critical, right? From the former strategic reviews that we did. And then here it has Kartra, comprehensive AI-powered features and scalability, suits agencies. And then here it has Groove, emerging AI focus, appealing to startups, still maturing with reliability concerns, but has future potential. Kajabi, decent automation, niche focus. Systemi, look, Systemi came out down here at the bottom. Remember, it was top ranking everywhere else. Affordable, simple, perfect for startups, lacks AI and scalability, future needs, and so on. So that's an interesting take on things. So this is, how we can tease out all this information and try to understand what this marketplace actually needs. So let's do this. We're going to do one other thing here, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to go into Grok, and we're going to and here's what you can do. If you're in the market for this, we're going to go into Grok, and you can ask it, hey, Grok, help me make a decision. What questions do I need to be able to answer, or to help me decide on what product I'm looking for? And let's just see what it comes up with. So create a list of 5 questions to help me decide which products are perfect for me or best for me. And it's going out and thinking. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it one other question. I'm going to say, hey, look, if I'm a small independent agency, which product, and I want something that's easy with AI and automations, right? Really future oriented. Which product would be best for me? So here Grok is thinking. It's doing some deep thinking here, and it's going to come up with some questions. Describe your comfort level with technology, right? And it tells you why you need to ask this question. So if you answer these questions right here, what is your monthly and annual budget, right? Great. What's your specific marketing objective? What do you hope to achieve, right? List any current tools of software that you need to work seamlessly with, and then describe your business, right? So here, rather than, we did a lot of great things. We had a future orientation. We took the existing current products and services, ranked them. At the end of the day, it didn't stack up the same, right? Things changed significantly. So here is how you can actually use that strategy bot to be future oriented and understand what's going on in the marketplace. Now watch what I'm going to ask it. Create a list from overall for, create a list of the overall best product, right? Best product, considering future orientation. Don't worry about it. It's going to get it right. Orientation, ranked from best to worst. Ranked from best to worst. Using the data gathered. And include your rationale. Right, always ask it your rationale, right? Because you can adjust that. Include your rationale. And let's see what happens. And we'll go into deep search mode for this, right? So let's see what happens. So here you can see we're being future oriented. There's going to be, if you did the strategic analysis, I can come back here and ask it, what are the absolute must have current features and functionality, and 2 years out or maybe 5 years out, feature and functionality to remain competitive. Last thing you want to do is have a product, buy a product that's great today, doesn't get updated, and those kind of things. Let me see what other questions I have in here in my window. Remember, I'm from all sorts of different other places. I'm getting these questions. Nope. So nope, I'm not an expert in this field by any means. I've never used any of those platforms except for the Groove platform, right? So that's, oh, so it doesn't support that. So we're going to have to come back in here. We're going to have to re-ask this question. I'm going to come back in here. We'll re-ask this question and we'll see what happens, all right? And that's going to quickly go through and it's going to think through this for us. But think about all the different things we can do with these models, how we can open up ourselves to ask better questions. The strategic planning thing is really cool, right? Because with that strategic planning and doing that 5-year look ahead or whatever, we'll make sure we can make sure that we are not buying a product or service that may or may not have the functionality that we need. It's already done. So here, it's ranked the products that overall, based on all the analysis we did, including the strategic plan from best to worst, active. So we have ActiveCampaign, ClickFunnels, Kartra, GrooveFunnels, Kajabi, System.io, blah, blah, blah. And now it gives us the rationale of why it had, why it did so. Which products have the greatest risk, right? Which products are the riskiest, right? The riskiest from most to least, and why. Right, so again, we can do all this other great stuff. So now we're doing our research, and it's searching stuff for us, and we're using that Grok there. I was going to use the Perplexity, but Perplexity brought back bigger models. I didn't seem to get that micro business concept. What other questions? So I'm not in. Yep. Keep going here. Let's see what it comes up with. So it's thinking for us. So just think about market research that you can do. I can also have had it specifically go into specific websites, or I could have been doing my own research and building out a document, like a Word doc, and saying, great, based on all this feedback, what do you think? So right now, we had one list of the recommendations. I think it said ActiveCampaign was at the top. I've never used ActiveCampaign. I have no idea. But now we're looking at which one's the riskiest, right? And I wonder if it's going to be in that reverse order. The riskiest is going to be at the bottom. So that should be interesting. So here you go, folks. If you are considering or in the market for one of these apps, we just did a lot of the research for you, right, of the apps. And then we can go into greater detail, right? I could now take, let's say we take the top 5 and do a deeper dive, or you might have other questions that you might want to understand. The riskiest. So here are the riskiest ones, right? Lead pages, Kajabi, Podia, whatever that is. And it gives us why, right? Lacks the comprehensive features. Kajabi is course creators and educators. So it might not be in that ballgame. We might want to replace it. Podia, I guess, is the same thing. I never heard of it. Kartra, right? Higher cost of learning, high learning curve, GrooveFunnels, and so on. So that's that. So I was up for the challenge. Someone asked me specifically, said, hey, Dan, how do you think your tool, how do you think your tool can be used to help us think about products and services. Well, I just gave you an example of how you might be able to do that, right? You can run that 5-year look ahead, and then from that, use the appropriate analysis to drill in, right? So pretty cool. And you can interact with that data. So we're going to end up there. If any of you are interested in this, just reach out to me, and I can provide this little quick mini analysis. Or if you want more detailed analysis, that's great. I write a lot of great prompts. As I told you, my prompts are like 15,000 characters long, right? My strategy bot's right down here at the bottom of the screen. If you want to take a look and play around with that, it's a great tool to play around. You saw how comprehensive it was. And in that strategy bot, there are other things just as comprehensive, right? So we did a showdown. It looks like ActiveCampaign. Let me see. It was ActiveCampaign followed by the top. Let's see. The top 3 products were, and I'm not sure. I don't know any of these. I don't use any of those other products. ActiveCampaign, ClickFunnels, and Kartra. Those guys stole the show, right? And again, it's the AI. If you look at what they all had in common, it was the AI-driven ability or what's on their roadmaps. I could have easily said, hey, review the products, and if they don't have a roadmap published, we can give it a ding, right? Because they may not, if there's no roadmap published, are they really thinking about the future? So that's it. ActiveCampaign. What was it? ActiveCampaign. I don't know, but have a great one, folks. I just wanted to show you how you can use this app, right? And if you need any prompts written, as I was saying, hey, reach out to me. I can help you write prompts, right? If you have an idea for a prompt, let me know. And we'll see you soon. Ciao. I also do Lean Six Sigma training, by the way.